Okay. Criticism of the path, al-masalik, the path. The Sufis use this word, path, maslak, okay, of the Sufis in the matter of celibacy. We told you that celibacy is haram, to choose not to marry. And I explained this last week. I think Allah blessed us with a wonderful lecture that all of you sisters, especially those who are not married, that you should not stay like that. And when Allah sends you someone who is Islamically acceptable, you should not refuse. You shouldn't dream of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar radiallahu anhu. There will not be men like them. Okay?
Can we?
Huh?
Can we?
No, even dreaming, don't waste your time. Okay? Even the likes of Shafi'i and please deal with reality. And I told you, lower your expectations so that your shock will not be devastating. You will have a shock in life because the humans, only when you think so high of people that you be wrong. But expect average people. If they are better, more than you expect, alhamdulillah, that's a plus, that's a bonus. If they are just exactly as you expected or less, then alhamdulillah, you are not in big loss. Okay, so celibacy, unfortunately, in other religions, was actually a form of taqwa, like Christianity. Christians, when they don't marry, it's a form of piety. And they could be sincere in the beginning. But with time, like now, na'udhu billah, I received a report about some Christians, all nuns pregnant. And it became like, see, from extreme to extreme. All nuns, wearing their hijab and everything, fighting, finding finally that it was wrong. But doing it the wrong way, not even through marriage. You see what extremism will always breed extremism. Allah Azza wa Jal has forbidden on Muslim men and women to remain single willingly. If Allah didn't give you, that's different. I'm talking about you don't want. Thinking it is a form of some Sufis do practice that, by the way. Yeah, some Sufis, it's to them it's like it's a higher Sufism not to be married than to be married. If you are a Sufi and married, you are less than the one who chose not to get married. And this is why you go against the fitrah and you end up committing major sins. Na'udhu billah. Is this clear?
Yes.
So let's see what Imam Abdurrahman ibn Jawzi rahimahullah said about this matter. Yalla, sister. Yeah.
Criticism of the path are masalik of the Sufis in the matter of celibacy. Iblis deceived many of the Sufis and prevented their marrying. The earlier Sufis avoided marriage because they were too busy with worship. They believed marriage was a distraction from obeying Allah. If those people had the desire to get married but did not marry, then they have put their bodies and faith in jeopardy. And if they had no desire to get married, then they have missed out on the reward.
Okay. What did Rasulullah say about marriage? Half of religion. So how can a Sufi think that by not marrying, I will complete my religion, I become perfect? You understand? Actually, only by marrying that you are, mashallah, you secured 50% of your faith. Is only by being a married person that you have secured 50% of your. That's why the true Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the true ulama of Islam, if one of them is not married, they pressure him positively to go and get married. They say to him, for example, sorry, you cannot sit with us today. Huh? No, until you get married. That's a form of, sorry, this is the club of married people. Go sit with Those boys, yeah. Oh, then in the afternoon he get married. Pressure. Marriage was very easy, sisters. What do you think? Do you think marriage was like in Malaysia? 360 plans, 200 failed plans, 160.
And a lot of fighting.
1 year and this and the the hotels. Everything was easy.
Sure, I think love marriage is different compared to matchmake.
Maybe, okay. Let me understand this. Yeah.
No, matchmake is like very easy.
Love marriage, there is no love marriage in Islam.
Yeah,
It's haram. It's a sin. To go try to meet someone and know her. You will know her after marriage, don't worry about it. You will really know who she is. And she will know who you are.
Sheikh,
No, hold on, don't change the subject. To go with someone and try to know him, it's haram. It's a form of zina. Because Allah said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Don't come near zina. And you did it. When you are alone, khalwa. By the way, even in a cinema, watching movie, what do? They turn off the light. That is khalwa.
alone, Sheikh? Watching alone?
No. Watching with people is khalwa. How about watching with this person you want to marry? No, sisters, it's haram. In Islam, it's like this. Learn this. Someone interested in your daughter, he brings his family and comes to the family. Formally ask her hand. If things happen if alhamdulillah you agree, between the moment he asks the hand and the marriage should be short time. Then there is no khalwa. Because now they are husband and wife. So I want to clear that. What they call love, actually it's not love. It's shaitan marriage. When we call it like this, whoa. You know what I mean? When you call things the way Allah want them to be called, then alhamdulillah, you shut down your mind. You don't want to accept them. And you don't let your kids do it. And please, not because you did certain things, you let your children do it. You may have married like that. May Allah forgive you. But don't let your daughters do that, or sons. Protect them. And that's your tawbah. Ya Rab, I'm so sorry for marrying that way. My tawbah is, inshallah, if my children and sons and daughters are about to get married, I will implement the sunnah of Rasulullah. Okay, just to correct that. Thank you. But you are right. When people watch movies and want to, imitate celebrities and this and that, that's how they take a long time. Okay, good. Yes, Sister Fanny.
Sheikh, do we know why Imam Nawawi was not married? Or if that's not the right question for me to ask,
correct.
then no need to answer.
No. Very good question. Not only him. Many ulamas. No, very good. Many ulamas. No. Imam Nawawi is not your example. Who is your example? Very good. Our best example is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How many wives he married?
11.
Which you die, of course. If your husband had another one, khalas, you forget Sheikh Zoubir's classes and Islam and Quran and Hadith and Tasbih. You forget all what I taught you. Takbir. Serious. Now you play, mashallah, you look like Aisha radiyallahu anha. MashaAllah, Junaida is like Aisha radiyallahu anha. Jeannie is like Hafsa radiyallahu anha. The mother of Sister Shamin is like Khadija radiyallahu anha. If her husband just jokes with her at that age, she's upset. Takbir. So, let me tell you, sisters, between theory and practice, you can find a lot of it. So, hopefully, inshallah, we bring theory and practice together. Imam al-Nawawi, even Ibn Taymiyyah divorced. Ibn Taymiyyah, he couldn't continue in the marriage because he felt he would be so unjust to this woman. He never gave her time. There are many ulamas who either they didn't continue the marriage or stayed like that until they died. But they are not our example. And actually, that is counted as a mistake in their life. Not sin, but a mistake. But they did not go to celibacy. Even if it's Imam Nawawi rahimahullah. Sorry, Imam Nawawi, I take from him the hadith. But I don't take from him the way of life. my perfect example is Rasulullah. No matter how busy he was, and no one worshipped Allah more than the Prophet. So to claim that marriage will take most of your time, like the Sufis say, just the Prophet answers them. Huh. So, yes, Imam Nawawi didn't get married, that's true, but it doesn't mean he was right. Because our perfect example is who? Very good. Another thing, isn't marriage ibadah?
Yes.
Didn't Rasulullah said even in a very private moment between husband and wife, that is called ibadah?
Yes.
If the niyyah is to protect themselves from haram and this and that. Okay. So how about that?
Okay.
Or ibadah is only fasting and praying? Isn't ilmu ibadah?
Yes.
Isn't visiting the sick and helping the poor and feeding the hungry ibadah? Isn't speaking the truth ibadah? Isn't standing against injustice ibadah? Isn't going early to the masjid ibadah? Isn't cleaning the streets, the road, paving the ways for people ibadah? Isn't digging a well ibadah? So the ibadah is bigger than what some narrow-minded people think. They think only if I pray I'm in ibadah. And if I have a wife, I'll be busy with her and her children, and I have to bring groceries, I have to do this. So you see, actually that is running away from something good. But they end up, na'udhu billah, doing something wrong, because the fitra one day will kick in. Okay. Like the Christian priests. Until now, almost every pope will apologize. No, apologize on behalf of the church for what his cardinals and priests are doing, if not him himself. Yallah. Alhamdulillah. Our example is who? Never forget, sisters? Very good.
In the Sahih of Bukhari and Muslim, there is a hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, according to which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, having intercourse with one's wife is a form of charity. They said, if one of us fulfills his desire, is there reward in that? He said, do you not see that if he does it in a haram way, he will have the burden of sin? So if he does it in a halal way, he will have a reward for that.
Hadith very clear. And this hadith, you can use it for other things. Anything you do in the halal way, you'll be rewarded. Anything you do for haram way, you'll be punished. Okay, good.
Some Sufis say that marriage involves expense and earning is difficult. This is a plea for indulging the luxury of idleness.
This is what they say.
Yeah.
You see how, this is devil's deception.
Yeah.
What's the book about?
Devil's deception.
The lecture is about?
Devil's deception.
Very good. Now, shaitan comes to some Sufis and tells them, if you get married, number one, you have to spend money. And that's true.
Yeah.
And if you spend money, it means you have to work. And work will take most of your time. You rather just pray instead of working and therefore spending money on a woman and children. Not knowing that working with the niyyah of spending money on wife and children is ibadah itself. Wow. So from 8 o'clock, let's say you go to work, until 4 or 5, if your intention, sisters, when you're working, teaching, or whatever you're doing, MashaAllah, halal job, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you, and counting it 8 hours of salat. Imagine that. 8 hours you didn't stop praying. People don't know this. The Sufis, unfortunately, shaitan got them there. So this is a plea for indulging the luxury of idleness. He tells them, hey, this is how you're going to stay away from true Islamic way of life and go to luxury. Which is not true. Continue.
Also in the Sahih of Bukhari and Muslim, there is a hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, according to which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a dinar you spend in Allah's way, or to free a slave, or as a charity you give to a needy person, or to support your family, the one yielding the greatest reward is that which you spend on your family.
I shared this hadith long time ago with you, if you remember. The best sadaqah The best sadaqah is what you give to family. Example. Your children need something for school today. Pens, pencils, sharpeners, whatever. And you have that money with niyyah to give to the masjid. You rather give to your kids. With the niyyah of, go buy what you need. That is bigger sadaqah than giving to the masjid. Because that's all you have. Of course, if you have more, please give to the masjid and give your kids. And you know what is the best sadaqah even on family? Is the piece of food you put in the mouth of your wife. The Prophet ﷺ said, look how much Rasulullah ﷺ is teaching us adab and akhlaq. Is taking something, anything, and you feed your wife. Or she feeds you. Which we see only before marriage. After marriage, you want to choke him or he wants to choke you. Takbir. La ilaha illallah. Choke.
Extreme shit.
Hold on, Zalina.
Literally feed them.
Literally. Yes.
The wedding cake.
Literally. La ilaha illallah, which means the sisters have never done this. They say literally. Yes, literally. You take something and you feed him. I know you cannot. La ilaha illallah.
Once in a while.
Subhanallah, I realize these things, sisters, these things are done mainly in old age. When the bond is khalas. The bond is so strong that you can't take it off anymore. I saw a woman sitting by the side of her sick husband, holding him in hospital, holding him. You know, he needs like me, lie down, let me. She was subhanallah holding him because he wanted. To that extent. Okay. Khalas. Rasulullah ﷺ didn't say wajib, do it. He said that is sadaqah if you do it. Okay?
Others said marriage necessitates getting too attached to a worldly matters. Abu Sulaiman al-Darani said, if a man goes in search of knowledge to seek hadith, or travels in the pursuit of livelihood, or gets married, he is inclined to the world.
We don't agree with, because Abu Sulaiman Darani is Sufi. Although he was alim, but he followed Sufism. If a man goes in search of knowledge to seek hadith, so seeking hadith has become wrong. He's a worldly dunya. If you travel in the pursuit of livelihood, if you are a fisherman, you go catch fish. If you are a businessman and you go to the market to buy and sell. And if you get married, to him is wrong. You are involved in the dunya. We say, no, sorry, brother. We are not involved in the dunya. We are involved in the dunya to make our dunya and akhirah better. How about that? No. To him, the only thing you can involve for is jihad with the sword or praying with your sheikh in the cave. This is to them, and this is how they defeated our sisters. The moment these ideas start coming to Muslims and Muslims started accepting this, Muslims became target. From us becoming lions and going to the land of people and opening the lands of people and bringing Islam, we became in the defensive. So a scholar like him says this, it's dangerous. And people listen to him. He's alim. The problem here is the problem in Malaysia also, I realize. You are controlled, your agama mainly is controlled by this type of people. That's why you are always in the passive mode. Passive.
But you see, that's the thing, because people never equate romance and Islam as something that is, you know.
You know who are the most romantic men on earth? Are those who are close to Allah. Because they know love. The real love comes from who? Real love comes from God. So the man will be so nice to his wife. She will even tell him, stop, enough. You are acting now. Takbir. Huh?
They don't teach or they don't relay this kind of information.
Didn't Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell Aisha you are Aish. You know what is Aish? And call her Humaira.
Red cheeks. Red cheeks.
Aish means without you the house, the room is,
Empty. I mean,
with you is lively, without you is dead. So she was so happy, like he says truly, and he meant it. When she is around, she makes him feel so good. She's there is noise, there is talk, there is socialization. And he used to even tell her, Humaira. Humaira means the woman with red cheeks.
Red cheeks.
But they were natural,
Okay.
not,
Natural.
yeah, you go start, say, I want to be like Humaira. You're not like Humaira. You are like McDonald. Takbir. Okay. The other one, didn't Rasulullah SAW race with Aisha? Racing. Imagine a man, a woman, his wife running. Racing. First time she won. Second time he didn't let her. And she was so happy that she was first. Subhanallah. But not the romance of Hollywood, the dirty, or Bollywood. It was between a man and woman, and within the Sharia, she reported and Rasulullah SAW agreed. But you're right, we are not teaching our children, we are not even teaching them Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. That's why they don't know. Okay, very good.
How can a man fail?
Yes.
How can a man fail to seek knowledge of hadith when angels put their wings down out of respect to a seeker of knowledge? And how can he fail to seek a livelihood when Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu said, I would prefer to die while seeking sustenance and not needing the welfare of others than dying while fighting for Allah's cause.
Very good. I rather die seeking,
Sustenance.
working. I rather die at work, going to catch fish, going to sell something, than letting people help me or seeking their welfare. That's Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu. Can any Sufi claim that he's better than Umar radiallahu anhu? Okay. And he said, and also, which means it was ibadah. The Sahaba understood that going to the farm and farming your land and milking your cows and feeding them and slaughtering and taking the meat to the market and selling it, all that is ibadah. Because they learned it from Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam. Okay, this is?
Umar.
Okay.
Oh, this, as for latter.
Yeah, continue.
As for latter Sufis, they only abstain from marriage in order so that people would say he is ascetic. The common people look with reverence. A Sufi, when he has no wife, saying he has never known a woman.
Oh. As if knowing a woman through marriage is haram. This is the latter Sufis. The first Sufis, they did it for ibadah, and they were wrong. The latter Sufis are doing it for show off, so that people say, oh, he's so ascetic, he's so pious, he never knew a woman. You got it?
Got it?
That is wrong.
Yes.
That is not Islam. Good.
A monasticism which is contrary to our religion. Abu Hamid said, a disciple murid must not occupy himself with marriage, for this will distract him from treading the path, al-suluk. He will enjoy the company of his wife, and whoso finds comfort in any other than Allah has his thoughts diverted from Allah. MashaAllah, takbir. Allahu Akbar.
Now, even if Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, the great Ghazali, is saying this, sorry, I told you in Sufism, I don't listen to Imam Ghazali. In Usul al-Fiqh, yes. I take from him Usul al-Fiqh. In Fiqh, he's great. But not in Suluk, I follow Rasulullah. Suluk means the path. I follow the path of the Prophet, peace be upon him. And it's true that marriage will take part of your, but it's all right. It's part of life too.
But don't all these ulamas who believe marriage is a distraction, right? Don't they think that with marriage they will increase the number of ummah?
They know, but to him, priority is to increase my iman, not the ummah, which is wrong. Sisters, just put in your mind one thing. Can the Prophet ﷺ be wrong?
No.
Can other ulama be wrong?
Yes.
Very good. This is what they are. Yallah, huh?
I am surprised at what he said. Do you suppose that he was unaware that a man who aims at keeping chastity and having issue, or keeping his wife chastity, but no means departs from the path al-suluk? Or suppose that his natural finding of comfort in his wife is inconsistent with the comfort which the heart finds in obedience to Allah? Allah calls attention to the blessing which He has bestowed on His creatures when He says, "And of His signs is that He created for you from yourselves mates, that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy."
Excellent answer. Look what he did. MashaAllah, the ulama, when they answer each other, you learn. Ibn al-Jawzi said, I don't agree with Abu Hamid for the fact that didn't Allah, when he says this ayah in Surah Al-Rum, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. What's the purpose of marriage? To find tranquility. To find tranquility. Isn't tranquility something that every human being needs to have?
Yes.
Because without it, you will never find God. Let me tell you a thing. Tranquility, sakina, hear it. لِتَسْكُنُوا. The word sakina, remember I was always explaining lately about as-sakina, the word sakina? Sakina is the tranquility, is the greatest thing Allah give you after iman. Is to make you calm. No matter how rough your life might be. Marriage, children, in-laws, boss, pressure, maybe sickness, maybe dangerous disease, but you are always calm. Because Allah Azza wa Jal has sent the sakina. The sakina, part of getting sakina is to get married. Now, that doesn't mean every married person finds sakina. Because sometimes you find the opposite. Because the person you chose, sorry, you were wrong. You say, Sheikh, it's not true that every person who got married finds sakina. I agree with you. But if you and your husband are okay, and both of you hold together to the rope of Allah, the Quran and Sunnah, you will be happy. If only one of you holds, the other one will not be happy. Or both of you suffer. This is where the problem is. For example, your husband doesn't want to listen at all. He thinks himself he is above the cloud. I don't know why he married you if he is above the cloud. He should marry a woman above the cloud too. You see, you are not on the same page. That's why the marriage will not work. But if both of you are humble, if both of you worship Allah, if both of you, alhamdulillah, love each other's family. Let's say you love his family, he must love your family. It's not the only one way, because it's a highway. It's a highway, double way relationship. So, anyways, the problem is not in marriage. The problem in who we marry. If there is any problem in the marriage, it's not because you got married. It's because you married a person who doesn't fear Allah enough. Or he may pray, but treat you like rubbish. There are people like that. They pray and this and that. But the wife, she can't say a word. Or whatever she says, he doesn't hear it. And vice versa. There are sisters who attend classes, but they are very rude to their husbands. They are disobedient, etc. So the problem is not in marriage. The problem is not in marriage. The problem in who you marry. Is this clear, inshallah?
Yes.
Okay. So Allah, when He said, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. So Allah also put love and rahmah, mercy between husband and wife. Isn't that something, three things that you look for?
Yes.
Which is sakina, love and rahmah. Three great qualities that we need to have. 3 great values. So why I give up these 3 great values for just the hallucination that, oh, I need more time with God? No, it's not like that. You can be with Allah while you are feeding your wife. You can be with Allah while you are feeding your kids. You can be with Allah when you are lying down at home and your children are there, and alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, what's the word for affection in Arabic?
Mawadda is more than love, because love is only what we call physical. The physical part of love. Mawadda, no. Physical and spiritual. The affection, the heart, hati. Okay, good. The messenger?
The Messenger
Sallallahu Alaihi
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told Zoubir radhiyallahu anhu, why don't you marry a virgin who would be joyful towards you and you towards her? Would the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam indicate to him a cause which would prevent his finding comfort in
Another thing, one day the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't see Jabir for quite some time. Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu anhu. So Jabir, may Allah be pleased with him, showed up one day. So Rasulullah ﷺ said, Jabir, where have you been? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I got married. He said, MashaAllah, congratulations. Who? He said so and so. That sister was already a married lady before. Either her husband died, I think she was widow, yes. So Rasulullah ﷺ told him, you should have married someone who is not married yet, who has never been married. She will make your life more pleasing. Do you think the Prophet ﷺ will indicate to Jabir bin Abdullah, because he was young, he was very young. Do you think the Prophet ﷺ would indicate to a Sahabi something where he doesn't find comfortable, like marriage, even better than a woman who already married? For what? If it was contradicting ibadah, he would have told him that?
Don't get married.
So the best teacher is saying get married. This is, sisters, what's happening today. Many people say, oh, that man is so biased. He didn't even want to remarry after the death of his wife. And still young. Wow. You'll be so impressed by a young man, let's say, or a young sister, who keep refusing to marry again. But that's not right, actually. You're wrong.
That's like we follow our desire, like, wow, he's very loyal to his ex, to his widow.
So wasn't Rasulullah SAW loyal to Khadija?
Yes.
Who was more loyal to Prophet SAW?
Yeah.
Good. No, I'm answering what you're saying. It's not you, all of you who think like that.
Yeah.
So he's so loyal. Actually, that loyalty is not there. Hey, your husband can marry now 3 more with you and still loyal to you. Look, not even a word. Takbir. Look at that. Yes, my brothers.
We got a gang today.
Takbir. But I'm the only sheikh who can say this and still survive. If you say this, you die. Don't never try. Listen, sisters, your husband can marry 3 more wives with you. So you are, mashallah. If you like to stay together and you become sisters and friends, you don't have to be playing ping pong together or badminton. But he's still loyal to you. You don't understand what that. You think loyalty is just to be stuck with you alone. Takbir.
Then what, Sheikh?
Huh?
Then what?
Then what? Because we don't practice the true Islam. Sisters, as long as he's just, as long as he give you time, as long as he spend equal money on you. Equal doesn't mean same amount. Let me tell you. For example, the first wife has 3 kids. The second wife has 2 kids. The third wife has no children. He cannot give the same amount. Because one has 3 kids, one has 2 kids, one has... Do you understand?
Yes.
This is the part you don't like me to talk about. And you are shocked. I know. And had it not been my position as Sheikh, you would have wow. But that's the truth. Sisters, that's the truth. Didn't Rasulullah SAW have many wives?
Yes.
Didn't the Sahaba have many wives?
Yes.
So please understand, your husband can be loyal to you even after your death by remarrying another one. Or you want your husband who loves you and you're supposed to love him, after your death, he becomes a beggar. His clothes are not even clean. Now you're happy in your grave. When he visits you like a beggar to the grave and say, Ya Allah, have rahmah on this wife, you're happy. What I'm saying, sisters, is just it's in your mind. The West, the world, you have been brainwashed. Even Allah, we don't know it. Do you think we will know this type of things? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't know Him quite well. I understand, we all suffer from this, but please understand, the loyalty of a husband doesn't mean only to you, but if he marries another one, he is no more loyal to you. If he has a girlfriend, he is not loyal. That's cheating. That's haram. And I rest my case there. I'm not going to say a word more than this, but please, loyalty doesn't mean your husband doesn't marry after you pass away. Now, if he choose not, that's still wrong. But doesn't mean he's loyal, 100%. Does not mean that. Otherwise, Rasulullah was not loyal then. All the prophets had more than one wife. Please understand that. So it's not an issue of loyalty, because the prophets can never do something haram. Dawood alayhi salam, how many wives he had? 100. Dawood, his son, 700. You still don't get that number? How many times I said 700? See, because you want to downside. Even if you take off 200, still 500. La ilaha illallah. So please, it's not an issue of loyalty. Khalas. Okay, good. Continue.
Or did the Prophet ﷺ amuse himself with his wives and raised with Aisha radiallahu anha? He was ceasing to find comfort in Allah. All these sayings are examples of ignorance.
Excellent. This is you are really now jahil by saying this. So when Rasulullah ﷺ had fun with his wives, when he was racing with some of them, where was he? Was he what? Doing something wrong?
No.
Okay, now warning against celibacy. Continue.
Warning against celibacy. Know that if Sufi youth do not get married, then they will end up with one of these three problems.
Number one.
First, getting ill due to lack of ejaculation. Such congestion is very harmful.
Okay, continue.
Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi said, I know people who used to have a lot of sexual relations. They stopped having sex because of following certain philosophies. Their bodies became stale and their movement became difficult. They began to suffer from depression, hallucination, and indigestion. Their desire for food lessened. I know a man who stopped having sex and eventually lost his appetite. Every time he would eat something, he would vomit. He went back to having sexual relations and all of these symptoms stopped.
So scientifically, you know why Rasulullah said get married? And he said get married young? Because it has a relationship between health and marriage. A healthy body is a married man or married woman. Okay, what else?
Second, those who were unable to stay away from having sexual relations, so they resorted to sin. They went after women and immersed themselves into things from which they wanted to escape in the first place.
You wanted to escape from women, you end up running after women. Look, you run away from one woman, at least one woman, right? Every man should marry at least one, right?
Yeah.
Maximum how much? How many? Go. So minimum one. You ended up running after many women because you went against the fitrah. The fitrah says Allah created man for women and women for men. You say no, I can take care of myself. That the person, na'udhu billah, did all the haram, including touching and sexually harassing and this and that. Number three.
Number three, third, those who deviated to accompanying young boys. Some people lost hope in having relations with women. so they resorted to accompanying beardless boys.
Which we talked in detail about.
Yeah.
Which is now the problem of Christians. They go to children and even rape them, force them, because they went against Allah's creation. Good.
There are other Sufis who get married but claim that they were not having sexual relations out of desire, shahwa. It is impossible for them not to have any sexual desires, shahwa. By getting married, they have followed the sunnah.
Oh, or you see some people, so Sufis, they say I'm married, but when I approach my wife, it's never because I desire. A liar. You are robot. Even robot have feelings now. Takbir. MashaAllah. So, you are lying now. Sufi mu'min, calling himself mu'min, keep lying. And what is wrong with having shahwa in halal? You see, this is when you don't follow the sunnah. When you follow your sheikh, this is what happens. Continue.
Others got themselves castrated
Uh-huh.
and claim that they did so out of shyness from Allah.
Na'udhu billah. As if Allah was wrong by creating a man with those things that Allah created in a man. So he goes and he does some kind of surgery to himself because I'm shy of God. Na'udhu billah. So tomorrow you remove a hand because you are tempted to steal. There was a temptation of stealing, so I will cut my hand off. What is this? This is, sisters, reality. It's happening. Huh?
It's haram, right? Castration.
Haram. Look, haram to touch your body for no necessity. I repeat. If you shorten your hair below your ear, above your ear, here, up to the shoulder, that's haram for women. For men, we should not let the hair longer than the shoulder in the presence of a beard. So you look like a mame of lion. But a man, we don't know if he's a man or woman from far, and having a ponytail. Na'udhu billah. Okay, so don't tell, make sure your children don't have a ponytail. Touching your body, tattooing, piercing, all this haram. If you do something to the body, it's because the body needs it. Meaning surgery, to save it. Not to add or minus. Na'udhu billah. Like they are doing now. Because it's promise of shaitan to Allah. I will corrupt them until they change their creation, he said. When Allah cursed him, he said, oh Allah, I promise you, I will not leave the children of Adam in peace. I will corrupt them until they change their creation. Change, not just do alterations to the body. Until a man turns woman, until a woman turns man, until a man turns a cat, until, na'udhu billah. I will do that to them. Okay?
This is great foolishness because Allah has given men the advantage over women by having these two male private parts. That is necessary for generating offspring. Castration is a declaration that it is wrong to have these organs.
When a person does the castration, he is saying that God, you're wrong for doing this to me. That's exactly what you're doing. You are not saying it with your tongue, you're saying it with your actions. It's like sisters who go for plastic surgeries. I warn you, sisters. Now everybody is looking at that Indian lady who is 65 years old and she looks just like 20 years old. Shaitan gets you there. Okay, go change her age also. Go change the age. It's okay. Say she was born in 2000, the year 2000. Oh, she came out of the plastic surgery and look her face. Remove that plastic. Horrible. So don't lie to yourself, sisters. You are, alhamdulillah, fine. Don't go replace a hip. Change your skin. I don't know what. A'udhu billah. Torturing yourselves. Okay.
Also, castration does not completely eliminate sexual desires.
Very good.
So they did not achieve their goal.
Anyways, you lost something, you didn't achieve the goal.
No.
You are foolish.
Yes.
If someone removes an organ, does he remove the sexual desire?
No.
Khalas. As if you have a very strong urge to steal, by removing one finger or two, you will not steal. You will still steal.
Yeah.
So Islam teaches you to change from inside.
Yeah.
Is this clear, inshallah?
Yes.
Very good. Devil's deception, continue,
Devil's
continue.
deception of the Sufis in the matter of not having children.
Now you marry, but you don't want to have kids. Like most of you. Not Malays. Some women today, they agree with husband. We marry, but we don't have children. Or we have two. Because each one of them will cost us 500,000 ringgit to send them to Oxford University. Takbir. Hey, maybe you don't think like this. I know people who think like that.
Yes.
They don't want, they say, the first 10 years, no children. Because I want to still look good. You look good. You look good by having your baby in your hand. By pulling your, mashallah, by putting your son behind you. Or 6, 7 kids, mashallah. How are you kids? Takbir. Don't you feel jealous of a lady who has, mashallah, so many kids? Actually, deep inside you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law have 13 kids.
MashaAllah, soccer team with,
She gave one husband. She gave birth 17 times.
MashaAllah.
13 alive.
For them.
3 miscarriage. 1 passed away.
Inna lillah.
The husband had 3 wives. So in total, when the husband passed away, all the children gather. There are 27 of them.
MashaAllah.
At this age and era.
That's what I call a real man. Look, when you have many kids, sisters, number one, you are increasing the ummah of Rasulullah. Allah will reward you for that. Number two, do you think you're going to feed them? Wallahi, you're wrong. It's Allah who feeds them, and Allah who gives them rizq, give you rizq through them. Meaning you are becoming rich because of them. Number three, inshallah, in old age, if 9 are lousy, 1 will be good to you. But if you have only 2 or 3 kids, sorry.
That's true.
So, up to you. I will not encourage you anyway to... No, it's having... Our mothers were smarter than you. They didn't go to school like you, but they were they trusted Allah. You were always fascinated by Hollywood and Bollywood. This is your mistake. Alhamdulillah, your mothers and my mothers didn't watch too much movie. That's why, mashallah. And they accepted what Allah does to them. You fighting and fighting and fighting. Fighting Allah's decree. You cannot, sisters. Up to you. Anyways, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just bless you with good health. Inshallah, you will never need your children. Say Ameen.
Ameen.
Meaning you'll be so healthy that you don't need them.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Ask Allah good health because you become burden on them. And you know. They may not say anything, but deep inside, you know now they're changing your diaper, they are doing this, they are doing that. Yallah, ha. Having children, not having children is another deception. So you marry but you don't have children. Let's see. Abu Sulaiman.
Abu Sulaiman al-Darani said, "He who seeks having children is stupid. A child distracts from worldly things such as eating, sleeping, or mating. A child also distracts from performing religious rituals."
This is a Sufi opinion.
Yeah.
This is an early Sufi, when Sufism was good. How about now? This is
a great error. Allah wanted mankind to continue to exist on earth, but the lifespan of each human is too short. So Allah gave us the desire to mate and breed. He also encouraged humans to breed and marry the unmarried among you and the righteous.
This is the ayah that the first ayah we bring in marriage as wajib is this ayah. Surah An-Nur, verse 32. Allah says, وَأَنْكِحُوا. وَأَنْكِحُوا is wajib. Have nikah. Who? The unmarried among you and the righteous. وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ. These are the people you should marry. Not only Allah says marry, but He said marry the unmarried and marry the righteous. So in this ayah actually, sisters, it's not just for man. This is also for you. It's preferably you marry a man who is not married. Preferably. Unless there is none. Okay? Yallah.
All of the prophets alayhim salam sought after having children.
Very good.
My Lord, grant me from yourself a good offspring. Indeed, you are the hearer of supplication.
All the prophets of Allah made this dua. Rabbi habli min as-salihin. Rabbi habli dhurriyatan salihah. And then you're telling me, Mr. Darani, that having children is going to stop you from La ilaha illallah. You see? So Sufism will lead you to say what is against even the Quran. Sorry to say this. Continue.
And my Lord, make me an establisher of prayer and many from my descendants. Our Lord, accept my supplication.
Very good.
It was sexual relations that resulted in producing people, the likes of Al-Shafi'i and Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Such an act was better than 1,000 years of worship.
Very good. A man goes and sleeps with his wife and produces, mashallah, a alim like Imam Shafi'i, Imam Malik, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Ahmad. It's better than that man and his wife doing Qiyamul Layl for 1,000 years. Subhanallah. Clear. Yallah.
Authentic reports have praised having relations with one's wife, spending on one's children, and leaving children behind. So whoever chooses not to marry or to have children, he has gone against the sunnah and missed out on a great reward.
Very good. Didn't Rasulullah ﷺ marry?
Yes.
Good. And when he married, didn't he want children?
Yes.
Didn't Allah give him children?
Yes.
Had it not been for Allah to make them die, especially the boys, before his death, he would have had great-grandchildren. But the Prophet ﷺ had children. He had 3 sons and 4 daughters. 3 sons and 4 daughters. 7 kids, mashallah. Good. What else?
Al-Junayd said, children are the punishment of acting upon lawful desires. So just imagine what would the punishment of acting upon unlawful desires.
Which is wrong. Al-Junayd is a Sufi.
Oh.
Great alim, but sorry, we don't agree with him here when he said, if Allah gives you children, is actually punishment for doing the halal way. Meaning he's actually scaring you not to have children from haram. Wow. Or what would happen to you Yawm al-Qiyamah if you commit zina? If Allah is punishing you with children, which is not true, we don't agree. Allah is not punishing, He's blessing you. The Quran calls it hiba, yahabu, gift. Gift is always with love, right? When you give a gift. Otherwise, it's not called a gift. If you're forcing me to give a gift, it's not gift. Even when it looks like a gift. A gift comes from the inner love of a heart to another person. You give a gift, right?
Yes.
So, Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, when he has children, did Allah punish him? See, that's why, sisters, and there are people who believe these things. Oh, children are punishment. Yeah, it's not punishment. Allah is giving you, mashallah, someone who will make dua for you after your death. This is wrong?
This is wrong. It is inappropriate to refer to something lawful as a punishment. No punishment results from doing something lawful, and only reward results from committing something that is encouraged. Mustahab.
Now you know why, sisters, I keep telling you the Quran, the Islam, take it from Quran and Sunnah. Don't take it from somebody else.
Okay.
Only Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even the Sahaba can err, can make mistakes. Even the Sahaba. So our deen is like this. From now on, inshallah, from now on, put this in your mind. If you have to forget anything I taught you today, the Islam is Quran and Sunnah. Stick to the text. Even when you don't understand them, it's okay. I don't understand the ayah, but I believe in it. Yallah, I move. Then you'll be safe. Yawm al-Qiyamah, when you meet Allah, there are no ifs and buts. But now you go with you read so many books about the Sufis and you get fascinated. I am so fascinated at Imam al-Junaid. Wow. And when you are upset with your kids, your son or daughter gave you a hard time, you say, indeed, he is right. Children are punishment. Because your son or daughter gave you... You see what I mean?
Yes.
No, go with Quran. Last paragraph. Devil's deception of the Sufis in the matter of travel and aimless wandering.
Devil's deception of the Sufis in the matter of travel and aimless wandering. Iblis has deceived many of them into wandering to no particular place, either in seeking of knowledge, most of them going alone and taking no provision, claiming that this is proceeding shows reliance, al-tawakkul.
When you see some Sufis, you see them just walking. Do you know that?
No.
You don't?
You mean the tabligh people?
No.
Not tabligh.
No. The tabligh, at least they have an aim. When they go, they want to do da'wah in this area. No, I'm talking about Sufis.
Sufi, okay.
If you come to Algeria one day, you will see in the desert, you see some people walking. Just walking. And when you ask him, he said, no, I am in a spiritual... I say, you cuckoo, go to the... And then you tell him, and he said, I'm Sufi, I'm trying to find Allah. You find Allah? Yeah, he's walking. Even when you give him a ride, you say, come give you, say, no, let me walk. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Okay. These people, sisters, actually Shaitan has deceived them. Because you cannot go... Okay, imagine you go out, and when I ask you where you going, you say, I don't know. I say, sister, you need to go to, what is that? Tanjung Rambutan. We're going to call someone to give you a place there. At least you say, I'm going to Sheikh Zoubir's class. I'm going to the mall to buy something. I'm going to visit my mother. I'm going to visit my sister. You just go, I don't even know. Yeah, you're right. Where should I go? They are like that. So they walk and they say, let me just go. It's called sa'ih. There is a word in the Quran, sa'ih, but sa'ih means a traveler who knows where he's going. Okay, let's see.
Thereby, such a person missed out on many virtues, fadilat, and many a duty, farida, although he supposes that he is obeying Allah and that he will thereby approach sainthood, al-wilayah.
Shaitan actually is telling him, you are about to become a saint. So go out and wander in the roads, sleep wherever, homeless. Allah will provide for you. Tawakkul, Allah will feed you. So he keep running. Actually, what he's doing, he's missing jama'ah. He's all the fara'id in masjid because you're alone. It's not like you're really traveling alone. You are just, so you are always alone. And fadila, the virtues, virtue of working, virtue of, mashallah, seeking knowledge, you are missing so many of them. Thinking through this way, you're going to be a saint. No, it's not going to happen like that.
Sheikh, in Islam, what does saint mean? Is it the ulama?
No, the wali.
Wali.
What we call awliya. Yes.
Wali of Allah.
There are wali. Inshallah, may Allah make us all his wali. But listen, sisters, wali is not someone who has, who must have 33 rounds of turban around his head. No. You could be so wali to Allah. You have done something that Allah is so pleased with. You're changing. You made sincere tawbah. Khalas. Allah says, نَحْنُ أَوْلِيَاؤُكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. We are your protectors and friends in the dunya and in the akhirah. So it's something gifted by Allah, but people cannot detect. Cannot detect. The Sufis, no, they made it like a specific sheikh, mainly man, as if women are not saint, are less. And he must be that person who everybody must come and kiss his hand and this. Careful of the shirk. Careful of the shirk. Careful of the shirk.
Okay.
Good, yes. So saint, hold on, just to answer Sister Farina. The sainthood is a state that Allah, a status that Allah gives to whom He wills. But He will not be known. Sometimes you may detect that person, he or she. How? By being given karamat. Allah gives them some kind of karama. It's something less than mu'jiza. For example, that person, you were really, really sick. And that person came and visited you and made dua for you and left. The pain incredibly goes away. And why all the doctors couldn't? That man is close to Allah. That sister is close to Allah. And Allah will not turn them down. And by the way, they don't have to look they could be dusty, meaning janitors. They could be anybody. Rasulullah said, رُبَّ أَشْعَثَ أَغْبَرَ لَوْ أَقْسَمَ عَلَى اللَّهِ لَأَبَرَّ. There are people who are very, very dusty and their hair is not even combed. If they ask Allah something, He will give them in front of you, right there. For example, if you ask Allah for something, it will happen in front of you. So you see the man you look down at? So it's not necessarily a alim or no. So please, wali is unlike a prophet. Sometimes cannot be known. Prophet is known. Wali could be any Muslim, mu'min, who fears Allah and does good, and he might have done something between him and Allah. So Allah loves him and he loves Allah. And all of you can be wali if you work hard on your iman and taqwa and dhikr and ibadah like this and ilmu.
In fact, he is disobedient and acting in a manner contrary to the sunnah.
Hold on, where are we? Which page?
The last small.
No, don't tell me the last, just tell me the page. 423. Okay, the last paragraph?
Yes.
As for wondering?
In fact,
The italic writing, the italic form.
In fact, okay.
In fact, he is disobedient and acting in a manner contrary to the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Very good. Do you find any prophet or any sahabi going somewhere without knowing where he's going?
No.
Very good. So that's contrary to the sunnah.
As for wandering with no fixed destination, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade traversing the earth save in pursuit of some object.
You cannot traverse the earth without a target. Objective. What is your objective? Where are you going?
Yes.
I see. No, I'm Sheikh. I just feel some of you, shaitan comes sometimes and push you. Drive your car and go. Change air. As if the air of your house is killing you. I don't know. There is CO2 in your room and oxygen, especially in the mall. Suddenly you become happy. You find yourself. Like there. That's shaitan. Make dhikr and say istighfar. Pray to rak'ahs and your mood will change. Khalas. That's shaitan telling you. And then when you're going out, I don't know where I'm going, but I feel like going out. Because I'm suffocating. All of you know I am voicing your insight. Takbir. Yallah.
It is recorded in Abu Dawud in his Sunan, in hadith of Abu Umamah, that a man said, O Messenger of Allah, give me permission to travel the earth. To which the Prophet ﷺ replied, the traveling of my community is jihad in the cause of Allah.
Can you highlight this hadith? Those who like to travel for no reason. Most of you, no reason. What is the reason? To see the latest Birkin bag in Paris?
To visit our daughter in
That-
the UK.
Oh, you love so much the UK, you put your daughter there so that she, for the next 4 years, and I keep telling her, delay, stay. You got it? Why you don't put her in Medina al-Munawwara?
Not eligible.
Oh, it's the problem with the Saudis, right? It's this. Put her in Tarim. No, Yemen is being bombed. Put her in any Islamic university. See? That's our problem. What's the reason for traveling of the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Or jihad.
Jihad doesn't mean only fighting, although that's what the Prophet ﷺ meant, but it means da'wah, meaning wherever you go, please do da'wah. Can you halalize your journeys? Yeah, make them halal, your journeys, by doing some da'wah. Please do. When you go visit your children, let's say, who are studying overseas, make sure you go to the masjid and support that masjid and give some donation. At least we make time to visit this museum, although we don't understand nothing in the museum. This place.
A museum. I went to the Royal Air Force Museum, which I don't know why.
There you go, alhamdulillah. All right, ya Allah. Okay, let's finish this. MashaAllah. Ishaq.
Ishaq ibn Ibrahim ibn Hani related how when Ahmad ibn Hanbal was asked whether he preferred the devout traveller or the man who remained in the city, he replied that travelling had no part in Islam. Neither was it the practice of prophets al-Nabiyyin or righteous al-Salihin.
Very true. If you travel without a good, valid reason like da'wah, like maybe medical treatment, maybe education, then no need. You're just wasting your time and money and energy. Serious. Ya Allah bless us. So may Allah save us from the devil's deception to anyone. And may Allah guide our Sufi brothers and sisters who think they are practicing the true Islam, which is wrong. Wrong, I repeat, wrong. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Ya Allah, open our hearts to be good Muslims, to practice the deen the best we can, following the sunnah of your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and following the early generation of Salaf Salih, the Sahaba, the Tabi'een, and Tabi'at Tabi'een. Ameen, Ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun al mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.